Hey, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan Gibbs from Body by Meg, and today I am so excited because I finally have my Yoga for Beginners class here for you. Now, this is the first ever yoga video on my channel, which I'm so excited about because if you haven't already, go and check out my BALI yoga teacher training from this past summer, and a lot of it is stuff that I'm going to share with you today. So, when creating this flow, I wanted to make sure that we do some of the most basic yoga poses that you'll see if you go out into the world and take a yoga class. So with that being said, let's get right into this Yoga for Beginners class. We're going to start in the back of our mat in child's pose. Feet come together and knees go wide. We'll bring our forehead to the mat and the hands stretch nice and long out in front of you as your hips come back. Slowly moving into this posture. Good. Now in today's class, we're going to start by focusing on the breath. So just start to become aware of how you're feeling. Scan the body and start to zone in. Feel as the breath rises and falls. And really be present here today. Now we're going to go through some breathing together. So let's empty out our lungs. And through the nose, we'll inhale for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Back again, inhaling all the way up, nice and slow, in through the nose for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 3, 2, 1. Okay, one last time, filling up those lungs, the rib cage expands for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 3, 2, 1. Very good. On your next inhale, we're going to come up to our hands and knees, tabletop position. So you want to make sure your shoulders are right over your wrists and your hips are right over your knees. The core is nice and strong, and we're going to move through what's called some cat-cows. So to start off, we're going to inhale, drop the belly, and look to the sky. And then exhale, we'll push into the ground, round the spine, and inhale the stomach. Very good. Inhale, drop the belly, curve the spine, look up. And exhale, round the spine. Good. Inhale. And exhale. A couple more times at your own pace. Moving nice and slow. Fingers spread wide. And when you're ready, coming back to center tabletop position. Very good. So now we're going to tuck our toes, lift our hips, and move into a downward facing dog. So again, make sure the fingers are spread nice and wide. Pushing into the knuckle portion of your hand, we're going to slightly bend the knees and push the hips to the sky. So really feel that nice stretch along the back side of your legs. You can come up on your toes, maybe walk them out, whatever feels good here. Let's just take some organic movements. Good. When you're ready, come back to center. Push those hips to the sky. Inhale, come up onto your toes, and then exhale, we're gonna walk nice and slow all the way to your hands. Very good. Now we're gonna bring the hands about 2 fist distance apart, so separate the feet. Get a nice bend in those knees, release the head, release the neck, and grab opposite elbows. So we're gonna go into a little bit of a ragdoll pose here. So make sure those knees are nice and bent, hips go to the sky, and just swing back and forth. Really letting go of any pressure in that lower back, releasing the neck. Maybe you nod yes, maybe you nod no, Whatever feels good here, just to get that nice release. Nice. Coming back to center, we'll place the hands on the mat, heel toe the feet together, and we'll inhale to a half lift. So the hands come either to the shins, the knees, the thighs, whatever you need to get a flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Very good. Now we're gonna bend the knees, slowly roll up to standing, one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up, bringing the hands overhead, and then down to heart center. Very good. Now we're gonna go through what's called some sun salutations. So we're gonna go through them a couple times, and this is something that you'll usually see in most yoga classes. So let's go again and inhale, bringing the hands to the sky. And then we'll exhale, dive forward, leading with our heart. Very good. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, plant your hands, step it back, and come to a push-up position. Now, for the first round of this, we're all gonna come to our knees, and we're gonna see what it feels like to engage the core, keep the elbows in, and slowly move down to the mat. Very good. Now, once you're all the way down on the mat, we're gonna come into what's called a cobra pose. So your hands are by your side, your elbows are tucked in. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, look to the sky, and exhale, push back up and back into downward facing dog. Very good. So we're gonna go through this 2 more times. Inhale, come up to the toes. Exhale, walk your feet all the way up to standing. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up, one vertebrae at a time. Hands come above the head and down to heart center. Take a couple moments here to breathe, reconnect with that breath. And on your next inhale, hands come above the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. We'll come down onto the knees, slowly move down to the ground. Inhale, cobra pose, lifting up, barely any weight in those hands. And exhale, pushing up and back into downward facing dog. Very good. Inhale, come up to the toes. Exhale, start to walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way back up, hands above head, and exhale, hands down to heart center. Very nice. So now we're gonna go through it once more. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, dive forward, leading with the heart. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, take the hands, step it back. And now this time, feel free to go down on your knees and do the cobra as we have before. But this time we're gonna do what's called a chaturanga. So you're gonna, again, keep those elbows nice and in, core comes tight, shift onto the top of your toes, and slowly move down onto the mat. Now when we do our chaturanga, we come up into an upward facing dog. So our thighs are up off the ground, pushing our palms into the ground, inhaling, look up, and then exhale, coming back down. Very good. So now we're gonna stay here and go through that 2 more times just to feel it out. Shifting up to a high plank, exhaling, slowly come down, and then pull through, inhale, upward facing dog. Now this is very difficult. I understand that this is a yoga for beginners class, but this is something you will see, so I wanna make sure you get familiar with it. Let's try it one more time on your own. Shift on forward, choose your level, and move on through. And downward facing dog. Very good. So next, from downward facing dog, we're gonna lift the left leg up, point and flex the foot, maybe do a couple circles one way, and then the other, and then step it all the way through in between the hands. Very good. We're gonna spin our back foot down into a 45-degree angle and come up all the way to stand. Very good. So this is what's called Warrior 1 or Warrior A. You'll hear it both ways. So for this pose, what you wanna do is you wanna make sure that your hips are square. So let's pull that left hip back, right hip forward. If you need to spread out the legs, that's totally fine. And arms come right next to your ears. Warrior one. Very good. Warrior two, we're gonna open it up, feet come perpendicular to one another, and again, that knee is gonna stay right over the ankle. Hands come in front and back, and you're looking right over that front hand for warrior two. Very good. Nice strong legs, both in the front and the back, both engaged and strong. For warrior two, we're gonna go into what's called a reverse warrior. So for reverse warrior, you're gonna lean forward and then come up and back. Very good. So legs stay the same. We're reaching up and slightly back, feeling a nice long stretch through that side body. So try to reach up more than you reach back here. Reverse warrior. Beautiful. Now come back to warrior two. And the last pose here is going to be a side angle. So again, we're gonna tilt forward, and this time we're gonna bring the left elbow to the left leg. So try not to dump your weight in here. You're staying nice and strong. Hand comes above for 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Let's come back to warrior two. We'll windmill the hands down, step it back, and this is where you'll take your version of chaturanga. So high to low plank, coming up, and meeting us back in downward facing dog. Very good. All right, let's do the other side. Bring the right leg up, point, flex, maybe roll out those little feet. Good, one way and then the other. And then we'll step it through just like we did the other side, coming into warrior A. Nice and strong. Remember, you can have a wider stance in this one. Open it up, warrior B. Reach forward and back for reverse warrior. Coming back down, warrior two, and then into a side angle. Now these poses will get easier the more you do them. Coming back into warrior two, and then windmilling the hands back, step it back, go through your flow. And meet us in downward facing dog. Very good. Let's take a little bit of a break. Bring those knees down. They can either be together or spread. Your hands can come in front of you or right next to you, forehead on the ground. So far, we've learned our sun salutations, we've gone through a couple chaturangas, and we've also learned a bunch of the warrior poses. So let's go through those warrior poses one more time each side, and then we'll start to cool off and come down. So, meeting in a downward facing dog, let's bring those hips back. We'll start again with the left leg, reaching it up, and stepping it through. Spinning the back leg down, coming up, warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Beautiful work. Reach forward, reverse warrior. Coming back down, warrior two, and then into side angle. Very good. Last, come back up to warrior two, spin those hands down, and chaturanga. All right, last side. Here we go. Let's lift that right leg up. Step it through. Warrior A. Open it up. Warrior B. Reach forward and back. Reverse warrior. Back down to warrior two as we move into side angle. Last, come back up, warrior two, spin the hands down, step it back, and let's flow. Downward facing dog. Very good, you made it through. Now let's start to cool down a little bit, shall we? Let's bring that right leg up, step it through, Bring the back knee down, untuck the toe, and we'll come into a runner's lunge. Very good. So I like to come up on this one. Maybe bring the hands overhead, just like we do in Warrior One. This is another one you're gonna wanna make sure you keep those hips nice and even. So make sure to bring the right hip back, left hip forward. Hands come up, and if it feels good, you can interlace them behind your head, looking to the sky. Good, hands can come down, frame the foot. We'll shift the hips back for a half split. So hands come down by your side, and this is another one where the hip kind of likes to come out to the side, so really make sure you're making it even. And remember, breathe into those muscles. With every breath, the muscle lengthens a little bit more, so the longer you can hold it, the better. Beautiful. Let's go ahead, bend that front knee. And now we're gonna go into a half pigeon pose. So what that means is you're gonna take your right foot and bring it to the left side of the mat while keeping the right knee on the right side of the mat. So a little bit of a figure four here. Get nice and comfortable, making sure the most important thing in this pose is that you keep your front foot flexed. We wanna make sure to protect the knee, so that foot needs to stay flexed, okay? All right, inhale, come long, and if it feels good for you, you can exhale, coming all the way down. Very good. Now for this one, if this feels a little too tough, you can also come onto your back and do the figure four laying here while reaching for the shin. But if this feels good, we're gonna stay here for a couple more moments. So make sure you breathe into it. Hands comes down in front of you. Untuck the back foot, push up into high plank, and then back down into downward facing dog. Very good. It's time to do the other side. So let's lift that left leg up. Step it through, back knee comes down, foot untucks, and let's check those hips once more. So left hip comes back, right hip comes forward, and then the hands will come overhead. And again, if it feels good, you can interlace them behind your head. Inhale, hands above head. Exhale, frame your foot and push the hips back, half split. Oof, this one always feels really nice. On your next inhale, bend the front knee, and let's get into that half pigeon pose. So the knee comes to the left side of the mat, the foot goes to the right side, foot is flexed once again. Start to get comfortable here. Now I know this is a difficult pose, so don't think that this is easy, because it will take time to get used to it, but it's also an amazing, amazing stretch. So whatever you did on one side, do to the other. If you modified, make sure to do the same. Inhale and exhale, come down and really get into that side body. A couple more breaths here. Don't forget to breathe. Hands come to the mat. Untuck the back foot. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Nice job. Let's all meet in a child's pose. And just feel into it. On your next inhale, we'll come up to a seated position. So I'll face you, and we'll just start with a nice, easy butterfly stretch. So both of the feet come together. Make sure your spine is nice and straight, chest high. Inhale. And exhale, start to fold forward. You can even bring your elbows to the inside of your calves for a little bit more of a stretch. Good. Coming back up into center, we'll extend the legs long in front of us. Bring the hands overhead, making sure you're sitting up nice and tall. And then we'll exhale, grabbing with our two peace fingers, our big toes. So inhale, bring the chest forward, sit up straight. And then exhale, rounding down, feeling a nice long stretch along the back side of the body. You can go through these breaths a couple of times if you like to inhale and exhale. Very good. Come back up into seated. We're gonna come onto our backs for the rest of class. So coming all the way down, stretching long, and let's just feel this nice long stretch, finally making it down onto our mat. Very good. So now we'll bring the right knee in, bringing it up around the rib cage and grab it into the side. So you'll also feel a nice stretch along the front side of that left leg as you bring the right knee into the right underarm. Very good. Couple more breaths. Inhale. And on your next exhale, let's go ahead and guide that right leg across body for a spinal twist. Now for a spinal twist, it's really important to keep the shoulders on the ground. So you don't want to overdo it. Looking over the right shoulder and just breathe into it here. Good, bring that back to center. Let it go long, and we'll inhale the left knee in to the underarm, out and around the rib cage, and feel that nice long stretch on the right front of the leg this time. Inhale, and on your next exhale, we'll guide that left leg across body for a spinal twist. Again, making sure those shoulders stay on the ground, and look over that left shoulder for your last couple breaths. Good, come back to center, bring those feet all the way down, give yourself a moment to breathe. And next we're gonna go into a happy baby. So happy baby is super fun. You're gonna bring both of your knees in, reach through the inside of your knees, and then grab the outside of your feet. So it looks just like this. And the whole purpose of this is to get the lower back flat on the ground. So I have a super long torso. This one can be hard sometimes, but again, the more you do it, the better you'll get. So make sure that those hips start to move to the ground, and same with the shoulders. Pulling the knees into the underarm. Breathe. And release, very good. You can hug the knees in one last time maybe swaying left to right or front and back, whatever movements you want to take now at the end of class, please feel free to. And when you're ready, we'll come into a Savasana, which is just laying on your mat, palms up to the sky, and letting all the benefits of today's class sink in. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll on to your favorite side using your arm as a pillow. Take a moment here. And then with your top hand, we'll push into the ground, rising, leading with your heart, and come back to seated on our mats. All right, guys, that's it. My first ever yoga class here with you on my channel. I hope you enjoyed it, learned a thing or two, and tried something new. So make sure to hit that subscribe button for new videos every single week. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the flow. And as always, make sure to comment below and let me know what kind of videos you want to see on my channel. Also, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. They're all Body by Meg, and I will see you in the next video.